Owen Abbas Hussein here from FightHype.com, and it's a pleasure to be joined by Amo Williams. Amo, firstly, welcome to the UK. I know you're here with Regis Prograis and that team. Well, welcome, man. How's your time being here so far?
Man, it's amazing. This is my first time out of the United States in itself, so to be able to come to a place like this that's kind of backwards, you know, the accents are here, the weather's different. It's a lot of different sights to see. It's an amazing place to be. Also, too, I didn't just come for like 1 week or a couple of days where it's a trip. I'm gonna be here for possibly 2 months if I stay to help Callum Smith. So I'll be living in London and living in London, Liverpool. So it's an amazing experience for me. It's a great life experience for me.
Before we talk about why you're here and everything else, let's just talk about the sad news that broke last night. Boxer Patrick Day fought on Saturday night on the DAZN card. Unfortunately, he passed away last night due to some injuries that he suffered. Just talk to me and give me your thoughts about the sadness.
That's an extremely hard thing for any fighter, I believe. And myself, I feel kind of, you know, I think about it like this. If you are going to go out, it's a great way to go out doing exactly what you love. That's one upside to it. But the medical staff and stuff like that, this is real war. What we signed up is not really sport, you know, and we know that. And, you know, you actually got to sign before the fight. You got to sign for this life insurance and all types of things because it's a risk. We all know that risk is there. But it's always hard for a fighter to see that. And myself, I've been boxing, I've been pro since March. And I've already seen 2 deaths happen since I've been pro in March. So it's like, you know, it's just a reminder that of how cautious you have to be in the ring, how well prepared you have to be. You can't half step. I'm sure every boxer right now is not missing workouts. They're working on their defense and things like that because, you know, head trauma is a real thing. And I think we also need to get a little bit more awareness to that, especially in the sport of boxing and football and things like that. Get a little bit more aware of how dangerous this is and ways to take care of your brain, you know. So that's my thoughts on this real sad time for the whole sport. But I'm sure all of us fighters don't think twice about going and doing it. I still want to do it the same way. So
obviously, thoughts out to his family and
yes,
everything.
Prayers, thoughts, love. I didn't know the guy, but I do know the guy because any fighter, we know each other. We know what it takes to get into that ring. So my deepest condolences are with him and his family. And I sent prayers up for him already. And that's all I can say about that situation.
Let's talk about why you're here. You're making your UK debut,
Yeah.
October the 26th. Let's talk about that. Exciting times for you. When Eddie Hearn signed you, there was a lot of talk that he had about this Amo Williams, and everyone looked forward to Amo Williams. 3 fights later, there's 3 knockouts. You know, you seem to be producing. Talk to me about your career so far.
My career is gonna be a fun one, and it has been a fun one because, as everybody knows, I haven't been fighting for a long time. I just made 4 years. And I decided to go professional when I would still be learning. So you'll always see a new and improved Amo. I didn't, you know, complete myself and then go professional where I felt like I plateaued or I peaked as a fighter and now it was time to go. No, I knew it was a lot of stuff for me to learn. I know I have a lot of abilities that aren't raw, but they aren't diamond yet. And that's fun for me. When you wake up and you have something to look forward to, you have, you know, improvements that you know can be made and, you know, it's more stuff you can add into your back pocket. It's a really fun time. I think a lot of fighters actually, you know, burn out before they get to that limelight because they feel like they know everything. They feel like they've seen everything. So each challenge for me is extremely fun. It wakes me up in the morning. Eddie has been doing an amazing job, man. You've seen the platforms that I've been on. Now I'm about to be on the O2. So they making it real fun for me. They really building my career, and I'm sure I'm going to be one of the top matchroom fighters and very soon.
Just talk to me about, there was a picture that come out a couple of days ago with you sparring Callum Smith, helping Callum Smith out in training. Just talk to me about that experience with a world champion.
In this camp alone, because I started camp when Regis started 8 weeks ago, I've been able to work with Benavidez.
Okay.
And I helped him get ready for Darrell. And that experience was crazy, amazing. And it got me extremely sharp. So when I went into this sparring session, Callum is just getting started, but I'm feeling like razor sharp. So it was really a really good sparring session for me. And, I do see the greatness of Callum Smith, and I want to continue to help him. But I feel like I had a really good time in that sparring session, and that really helps me with my confidence going into this next fight. Because I know if I can do good against Callum, I can definitely do good against the next guy that I'm going to fight. So it was an amazing experience. I already took some stuff from Callum just in one sparring session. And that's how you know you're in the ring with a great champ, when you can learn something each round from somebody. So it was an amazing experience, and it's levels to boxing, and these are the things that really elevate you as a fighter. So that work with Callum was amazing.
How much of a compliment is it to you that they actually want you to actually help them in camp?
Man, that makes me feel amazing. It kind of verifies what people always tell me about me being this phenom and this freak of nature in the sport of boxing. When a number one guy really wants you in the camp, that tells me, man, you're different. You're different. All the hard work and all the dedication, the extra hours and stuff that I put into the gym, and me really curating this different style that people want to see and people want to experience. All of that is coming to fruition, and that having them really wanting me to be in this camp. That's verification that I'm doing the right things. It makes me feel extremely happy, and it just gives me more fuel to go even harder, get even better.
I want to ask you, normally ask a fighter this sort of question when they're up and coming is, which sort of fighters did you used to watch when you were younger? Which fighters do you watch at this stage? Is there a lot of people I talk to me about the history fighters, people like Sugar Ray Leonard, them sorts of fighters. But in your era of boxing, this era of boxing, who do you watch?
You know what? When I first started boxing, I never really was into fighting. I 19 years that I didn't box, I didn't even look at boxing highlights and stuff. But when I decided that I wanted to box, the first guy that I watched was Roy Jones. Just because he's such an athlete, and I knew I could mimic a lot of things. Actually, I don't know why I decided to watch Roy Jones. I didn't know anything about boxing. But his name was familiar, and I went and checked him out, and he's another reason why I instantly fell in love with it. Watching his highlights, as you know, it's like, what am I seeing right now? So Roy Jones was one of my main guys. Triple G was another one of my main guys. Bernard Hopkins, I loved watching him. Sugar Ray, I met him. I met all of these guys. But Sugar Ray and Roy, I really wanted to mimic my original style, my initial style over those two guys. So I would study. More so Roy, I know his highlights like the back of my hand. I know 15, 16 of his fights round by round, just from watching it so much. And one great thing about him is when I have a hard, tough sparring session or something, I can call him up and tell him who I'm going against, and what the guy's body type is. Most of the time he knows who it is, and he'll give me these great pointers. And also Roy is such a big inspiration to me, because I went to his amateur tournament, and I actually got a knockout in front of him, and he came and watched me in a championship fight. We exchanged numbers, and that's where I made that connection where I can call him and talk to him, train with him and stuff. I still haven't got to go train with him, but since he's that guy for me, I think I can't wait to go train with him.
For people who haven't watched you fight, what would you say your style is?
My style is new. It's new. It's definitely gonna be a new style that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around.
Okay.
It's fluid. It has speed and power. It's destructive style. When you get to the root of my style, it's for destruction. And I think that's a style that's kind of frowned upon sometimes in the boxing world. But since I knew how I was, stepping into boxing. When I first stepped into boxing, at 19 years old, I wanted to see knockouts. I didn't even know the true art of it. So, one of the things that I think is genius about my style is I'm gonna take such a fundamental style that really is almost Olympic and put little tweaks on it to make it extremely dangerous, to where people watch me and they say he's going for a brutal knockout. He's going to stop this guy. He's going to blah, blah, blah. But if you are a boxing scientist, if you're a boxing guru, you can watch me and really admire the skill and the fundamental soundness and things of that nature. So I'm definitely a puncher. The style, I have so much to show, man. I can't put a name on it. It's hard, man. You know what? That's a job I'm going to leave for the people.
Okay.
That's a job I'm going to leave for the people, yeah.
I like that.